Good afternoon. In this video, I get my second biggest week of business this year. Health update, I've had some hip impingement for 2 days this week. Also the swing back to pen videos and also an early activity update. You'll notice that this video's come out a lot earlier than normal. This landscape's very, very strange. So where I am at the moment is just a little way away from where I live, and it's an old abandoned side road, or layby. Now this used to be a massive layby just here, but the only problem is this used to get used a lot for fly tipping. As you can see, just on the floor just here, someone's just dumped a tyre. And there's various other things as well. There's a bit up there which looks like somebody's been wild camping there or just basically trying to live somewhere. They filled in the entrances and the exits to this lay-by years and years and years ago, and it's like just wasteland now. Not used for anything apart from people probably pop over here, set a few fires and all that sort of rubbish. But yeah, I thought I'd just quickly put the drone out, have a look around, see what's about. Excuse the road noise, we're right next to a road. And see what there is. Right, let's take a seat. So yeah, this is a active over 50 update. Changed the name because obviously I'm no longer at 50, I'm over 50. This update is for the week commencing the 6th of October, which is this week because I'm actually doing this on a Sunday. So, second biggest week this year for business. Managed to secure a really good website project the last week or so, which is really going to help with business, along with all the other projects I've got going on. We are pretty much sorted until after Christmas, work-wise and money-wise. It just shows that, I'm always sort of thinking to myself, something will always come up, And I'm not religious in the slightest way, but I do have faith in sort of good fortune and that there's always some positivity around the corner. More often than not, I'm proved right. The power of positive thought is amazing, and people need to think about that. If something's really bad, you need to think there's always something positive around the corner. Health update. So this week I have suffered a little bit of hip impingement on my right side. It's very painful. It gets to the point where I'm hobbling around quite a lot. Walking does help. As somebody said in another video, motion is lotion. The more you move, the more things get lubricated. And I find that I need to keep moving when these things happen. Probably reduce my activity. So this week may have a little less activity than the week before. But also, obviously, hip impingement, for those that don't know. I have shallow hips, so that's the ball and that's the socket. Normal person's hip is like this. My hips are more like this. So this area here where my fingers are, this here is the fibrous lip, which is in between your bone, so in between the ball and the socket. And my fibrous lip is basically being relied upon because the bone is not as covering as a normal person's hip. That being the case, as that fibrous lip wears away a little bit, you start to get a few little bumps and rough areas on the ball of your hip, which only tend to hurt when you sort of graze over them, or if your hip moves in a funny way that you're not normally used to. And this can happen from anything, from sleeping in a strange position, or one thing which I'm possibly going to put it down to is the IWT, interval walking training, which I seem to have jumped on a little bit too quickly. I was pushing to do 3 sessions of it this week. I've done 2, and then realised after the second one that I've got a bit of hip impingement. So I do really need to possibly get back to it next week but do it on reduced timescales. So I was doing it for 30 minutes, maybe reduce that down to around 18 minutes, so half it almost, so that I'm not really going to get the hip impingement anymore. But that being said, I'm out on a walk today. We're going to do at least a 5 or 6K, and it seems okay. You know, I've done a bit of walking already. I walked the way I was trying to walk, but then came across a load of kids on motorbikes, which is a little bit annoying. So I walked well away from them and came up this way, and I just thought I'd investigate in here. So let's go and take a look. So yeah, the swing back to pen videos. Now this is a strange one, isn't it? Some of you will not remember, but 12 months ago I had a big pen video that blew up, and it pretty much made my channel. It had around 100, well, it's still got over 100,000 views, and those 100,000 of views basically gave me my monetization on this channel, which means I managed to get the figures I need to be able to be monetized, and which was amazing. And it was a simple question. It was about blue and black pens. Now I'm going to revisit that question at a later date, but there is a new pen video on the channel, so please take a look. There'll be a link above, probably that side or that side. Also the link will be in the description. Check it out, see what you think. And if you want to take a look at the playlist, that's also in the description, the playlist for my pen rabbit hole videos. So basically they're the point where I thought to myself, you know what, I want to have a look at pens and see what fountain pens are like and which pens write the best. And I disappeared down a bit of a rabbit hole towards the beginning of my channel. So there you go, there is a new pen video. There's another pen video coming out later this week because I had a bit of a haul from Amazon, and that haul included a couple of new pens and a couple of new inks. So hang about for that later on in the week. Drop a comment and let me know what you think of my pen videos. So why am I having an early update? Normally I do these updates on a Monday, film them in the morning as early as I can, and then from that point I will then edit the video and then think to myself, right, I'll get it out before the end of the day, so at least you get an update for the time you come home from work or in the evening to watch my updates for the week. Well, this week I've been asked to do some work on Monday, and I'll be starting at around 8 o'clock, so I won't have the opportunity to go out and do a video. So I thought I'd do the video on a Sunday and be a little bit more relaxed about it, take my time, go out and do a bit of exploring, and I'll get it out for you first thing Monday morning. Let me know if this works for you. We should be back to the normal videos on the Monday next week, but let me know down in the comments if you feel that doing an update on the Sunday is a bit better, means I'll get the video out early on the Monday, and you can see the actual activity from the week before immediately. So I'm not going to be able to actually tell you what the results are, because the results will be totted up towards the end of today. I won't be able to do the full day obviously, but I'll probably put the metrics, so the kilometres, the floor climbs and the steps up on the screen about there. Let me know your thoughts. I don't know whether it improved or whether it's been worse. I think it may have been worse because obviously the hip impingement. Anyway, if you feel you would like to go and check out the pen video, check out over here. If you'd like to go and see the rest of my Active at 50 videos, check out over here.